What's up, Shop Nation? This is Shop Master, and here's another player ratings and team projection video. And today we're going to take on the Arizona Cardinals, and it's also another chance for you to win a free copy of Madden NFL 17. You know what to do. All you have to do is stick that like button, subscribe, and put in the comment section below what you think about this video. Any comment, actually. Tell me what team you want next, or if I got the 3 focus players for the Arizona Cardinals together. Now, unlike the last team that we covered, which was the LA Rams, this team is more of a win now team. So if you have this team in your CFM, you're probably expected to win now, and you should be able to compete and win now with this team. Now, there are, of course, some things you're going to have to do the upcoming seasons in your CFM, but for all sense and purposes, you should be able to win with this. This team is built to win right now. Now, last year, the Cardinals went 13-3. They had this dynamic offense with Carson Palmer at the helm. And this year, they added some very good players, I think, that fit into what they want to do. And in real life, just fits into Bruce Arians' scheme. So one of the players that they brought over is defensive end Chandler Jones, who I think is going to be a big difference for them in real life and for you in Madden NFL 17. They also brought on Jerraud Powers. They brought over Evan Mathis, a guard. They got Tyvonn Branch, a strong safety who came over from Oakland. And they also signed Jerraud Bryant as a defensive end. They did lose Sean Witherspoon, an inside linebacker who went to Atlanta, and they lost 2 offensive linemen. So we'll take a look at the offensive line, but I think it's still okay. Even though you lost 2 offensive linemen, you got Evan Mathis as your guard, so you should be straight. Now, in the draft, they signed another defensive end, Robert, I don't even know how to say his last name, Kimdich, and they drafted DB Brandon Williams, a center Evan Bohm, and Marquis Christian as a safety. So those are sort of the all-season moves that the Cardinals made. Now let's take a look at the roster and see what they did, and take a look at some of these ratings that we think is going to happen in Madden NFL 17. All right, so I have the roster in front of me, and first we're going to take a look at, you know what, before we take a look at the quarterbacks, sort of like what I did with the last video, the LA Rams, what I like to do is take a look at this first sheet, and you'll notice all the 90s that they have on this first screen without even scrolling. That tells me that they're a pretty good team. You got a left end that's a 90, a quarterback that's a 90, a wide receiver that's a 90, a couple of DBs that are 90, a guard that is 90, and another defensive end that is 90. So to me, you're looking pretty good, and this, to me, without going any further, tells me that I should be able to win with this team right here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the quarterback situation. You have Carson Palmer, 12 years into the league. He's not going to last much longer, so probably one of your first things in the all season coming up after your initial year 1 is to probably look for a quarterback, a young quarterback. Because I don't think Stanton or Barkley or Coker are really the answer. As you see here, 91 throwing power, which he's going to need because he has some wide receivers. 89 accuracy, 96 short accuracy, 93 mid accuracy, 79 deep accuracy, all superb numbers from the quarterback position. So Carson Palmer is not your problem this year. You might want to use a coaching package to keep him another year in case you're looking somewhere else to fill, depending on how your draft class looks. But I would definitely keep Palmer and then look for a future backup. Your halfback situation, you have Andre Ellington, you have David Johnson, you have Chris Johnson, you got Stephon Taylor, and Curran Williams. Now, I like Ellington and I like David Johnson. I would actually move David Johnson up just because he's younger. That's really the only reason. I would just move him up because he's younger. He has 90 speed. Not pretty good strength, but I mean, Andre Ellington is good too. Actually, David Johnson has 92 speed and better strength than Andre Ellington. Um, we'll take a look at some of these numbers. David Johnson is more of a trucking back, so he has more trucking, um, more stiff arm. Um, Ellington has the juke moves, pretty good carrying, pretty good catching. You're definitely gonna need that as the Cardinals wide receiver. So let me know in the comments section below, who would you start? Would you start Andre Ellington or would you start David Johnson? That's my question to you guys right now. Put it in the comment section, which of course just answering the question allows you to a chance to win a free copy of Madden NFL 17. But who do you think? Or do you go with Chris Johnson? I mean, 78, 79, 80, they're all right there together. So out of those three, who would you start in your backfield? Now let's take a look at the wide receiver situation. You have Larry Fitzgerald, John Brown, who I love, speedy back. But you also have Michael Floyd, who I think will have a breakout year in real life. So I would actually, it's crazy because I would actually move Michael Floyd to my second wide receiver spot and move John Brown into the slot. Then you got Jerraud Brown, J.J. Nelson, and Britton Golden. So you got some pretty good wide receivers. The only old person is Larry Fitzgerald, who probably after your first year is going to retire. So you need to develop Michael Floyd to be that #1 guy, and then have John Brown be your second. But right now, I'll put John Brown in the slot. Taking a look at your tight end, you had Jermaine Gresham, good wide receiver, receiving tight end. You had Darren Fells, and you have some other tight ends, but 6'5", 6'7". Darren Fells is 6'7", guys. You got to use that big, tall frame when it comes to Madden NFL football. So let's go ahead and take a look at the offensive line, because I think when you have a Carson Palmer, you definitely don't need him to be hurt, because you really don't have that good of a backup. So we got Belt here, you got Ibati, 90, you got Shipley, you got Evan Mathis, who I said came over. Where did Evan Mathis come over from? He came over, I forgot where he came over from, but they got him. And you got Earl Watford. Now I would definitely take a look at this. See, this is what I take a look at. I like to have my younger guys in there, but 25 is not that old, so I'm probably still cool with him. All right, let's take a look at the defensive squad. You have Calais Campbell, monster. You have Chandler Jones, monster. And you still got Frosty Rucker. So this might be one of those situations where you go ahead and look for a trade for Frosty Rucker, because you might not necessarily need him unless you want to move Chandler Jones to outside linebacker. But your defensive tackles, you have Corey Peters, and you have the rookie. I would definitely think about moving the rookie to the #1 defensive tackle spot. As we take a look at the linebackers, you got Alex Okafor, you got Daryl Washington as your middle linebacker, and Deion Buchanan. I like Deion Buchanan. He's young too. I would definitely move Deion Buchanan to my #1 middle linebacker spot, especially if I'm playing a 3-4. He already has more awareness. I take a look at like tackling and block shedding when I take a look at my middle linebackers. 92 hit power? Are you serious? So he doesn't have the power moves or the finesse moves or the block shedding that Daryl Washington has, but I mean, 92 hit power. 87 is not that bad, but 92 hit power is pretty good. So I definitely would think about that. One of the things that we don't talk about too much is salary. So when you're talking about cutting, make sure that you don't incur a big salary when you do these things. All right, so right outside linebacker, you have Marcus Golson. At the cornerback position. So it's funny, they moved Tyrann Mathieu to DB. Patrick Peterson also is a DB. I'm not sure. I don't know how they have it in Madden NFL 17. These rosters right here have the Honey Badger as a DB. I haven't read anywhere that they moved the Honey Badger to DB, but they may have. If you know for sure, if you're a Cardinals fan, let me know in the comment section below. But they also got Jerraud Powers. They brought him over from Baltimore. So they have some good DBs. And maybe the reason why they brought them, put whatchamacallit there, is because they have a nice free safety, and they got Tyvonn Branch from the Raiders as a strong safety. So maybe that's a reason why they moved the Honey Badger to DB. Even though they drafted a DB as well. They drafted Brandon Williams. So they drafted a DB. So let me know what you guys think. The three players that I would use my focus training or my focus game planning on in Madden NFL 17 CFM would definitely be the defensive tackle, this guy, Kimdichie. Then I would do David Johnson. That's why I would move him up, because I would be focused training on him. And then my third guy would definitely be Deon Buchanan. So Kimdichie, David Johnson, and Deon Buchanan are my three guys that I would use in game planning to focus more training on to get them extra XP. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure you stick that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with some more player ratings and team projections. Oh, before I forget, last year they went 13-3. This year, I think the Cardinals will go 12-4. So 12-4. So just one more loss to their record from last year. That's going to do it, guys. I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at ShopMaster, and also make sure you check out my live game talk show where we'll talk about Madden NFL 17, and I do that every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on twitch.tv/EA Sports. So that's going to do it. It's your boy ShopMaster, and I'm out. Peace.